Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? You can see Mark's face and you can hear my voice.
Hey guys.
I don't have my video on yet. Hey, guys, everybody in the chat, we just got a handful of people in here. Let me share my screen, get this going up here, make sure that everything is working. Hey, for everybody that's in chat, anybody that's in here, can you put a number one in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see Mark? All right, what's up, Joel? What's up, Adam? What's up, Mark? What's up, Adriana? How you guys doing? All right, cool. Let me hide this real quick. And hey, guys, you know what? This is going to be like a little bit different event. We're going to get started here in just 1 minute. I'm just going to let a few more people hop in. If you guys want to give a little bit of context, just throw in like what kind of business you're working on, or maybe even like what you want to get out of today's presentation. Because we have, like I said, this is a little more intimate in that there's no pitch today. It's just a training webinar. And we're going to be doing the training on how to quickly increase your sales, and then we're going to have a Q&A with Mark, who you can see right there. Let me turn on my video so you guys can see I'm a real person too. What's up, everybody? By the way, this is Mark Hardgrove. He's one of the Hoth partners, and he's going to be doing the Q&A right after this training. We're going to have like a 30-minute training, then we'll do a Q&A with him. So, Mark, if you want to say what's up.
Hey guys, well, first off, thank you for joining.
Well, you got to turn on your audio.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's all good.
Okay, great. First off, thanks for attending, but even more importantly, thank you for giving us the commitment with the Hoth product. You know, voting with your dollars to jump on this product. I believe in the product. I know we have an amazing team. We worked really hard to develop the process and the deliverables, and I know that you'll have an amazing experience. And for the value that you're paying, I think it's the best marketing dollars you can spend on the internet. And I'm putting my name, my face, our brand behind it. So thank you for attending tonight, and thank you for purchasing HothX. And it's our job to deliver and earn your business every single month, and that's what we're going to do. So tonight you're going to hear some exciting stuff from Clayton, and then I look forward to personally, hopefully helping answer any questions. I've got a list of tips. If the questions don't come in, I can give you guys some nuggets that can help your business. But Clayton, take it away.
Okay, cool. I think I got my audio back working. Guys, I'm going to shut off my video because I'm going to share my screen with you. Looks like we got online nutritional sales in here, local paver company, advertising agency, meal prep, t-shirt selling. So we've got a pretty wide variety of niches, which is awesome. So I'll do this. If you guys have any questions during the presentation, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll probably try to get to them afterwards. Or I'll try to actually monitor them while I'm going. And then also, if you do have any questions for Mark for the 30-minute Q&A afterwards that we're going to do after this quick little training, you can put those in there as well, and we'll get to them. So with that said, I'm going to start off my video, and we'll get right into the presentation. All right, see if we can do this. All right, back to the beginning. Okay, cool. Guys, so this is the bonus training. Thank you so much for hopping in. This is how to quickly increase your sales, plus that Q&A with Mark Hardgrove. We already said this, but thank you guys again for taking a part of this deal. Again, this is like a no pitch. We don't have anything to sell you. You already bought. So this is going to be kind of a cool, fun, little intimate training. So now, if you guys know that with this bonus package, you got the Hoth Growth Blueprint. And that's really cool. That is a long-term strategy. It's meant to be evergreen. It's meant to be able to show you a way where you can get customers consistently into your business, develop a relationship with them, and sell them like lots of stuff over time, right? Just like a little consistent system for you. But today we're actually going to be talking about things that you can do quickly that are going to increase sales. So these are things that you can do that are going to help you have the best month ever and really give you a quick boost whenever you need it, okay? And these are really our best strategies that we found for quickly, consistently increasing sales. And we try to use these like nearly every month. And my hope, guys, is that you take these strategies and tactics and you just go ahead and implement them this month. And you come back and give us some feedback and see how they work for you, okay? Because these have really been pretty awesome for us. After this presentation, so this is going to be about probably 30 minutes, we're going to be doing a Q&A with Mark. And so, again, guys, if you have any questions for Mark before, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. So that could be pretty fun. We can get prepared for that. So you guys ready? Can I get number one in the chat if you guys are ready? See my screen, hear me, everything? Everything's good? What's up, Adam? Okay. All right. All right, I'm seeing some ones come in. That's great. Okay, guys, so here's what it is. The first hack that I have for you, we call it hacking the offer. Okay, this is probably the most important thing that I could say. This is the preface before everything. This is the basis, the foundation. This is the most important thing that you can learn here. Okay, it's better than any kind of marketing tricks or Facebook ads. And an offer is basically the core of what is going to get people to buy. Okay, and if you don't have a good offer, everything else is really useless. It's like it's like the equivalent of trying to sell salad outside of a baseball stadium when you should be selling hot dogs, right? It's just not going to sell. So if you don't have the right offer, it's not going to do you any good. So that's where we always start, okay? So what is an offer? So an offer is something that you trade. And this could be, it could really relate to anything. Like a job position. If you get an offer for a job position, you're doing the job in exchange for money. That's an offer. A lead magnet. So for instance, we run a lot of Facebook traffic and we offer like a free guide or a free PDF in exchange for an email address. So that's an offer. It's an exchange of value. And then another example would be like a product in exchange for money. So that's an offer. But in the context of growing your revenue quickly, and what we're referring to in this little presentation is an offer we're referring to as a promotion, okay? So that means it's a deal, some kind of bundle, a discount, or combo, or something different than your normal product offering, okay? So I guess I want to tell you a little story. Basically, my big fail is that kind of when we were starting the business a handful of years ago, I used to think that we were Apple. I thought we were real cool. And Apple is really known for being like a premium brand, for being, they don't really give any discounts, or it's very rare for them to give discounts. And I always wanted to hold ourselves to that standard. So I really refused to do any kind of promotions or whatever, because I felt like they seemed kind of sleazy or cheesy or I don't know. I just didn't really like them. I didn't want to devalue our brand. But we also wanted to make sales. We also wanted to grow. So around 2014 or so, we ran a bunch of ads. We added like about 10,000 people to our email list, and they all went through our autoresponder, and we were developing a relationship with them and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff that we're teaching, the growth blueprint, but we didn't really see a huge jump, okay? It was kind of weird because we had all these people. I felt like there's so much potential, but we didn't see a jump. And they were just kind of like marinating there, like getting to know us. We're delivering all this value and all this kind of stuff. But then we ran a very simple promotion. We just ran a 20% off 1 month. And the results were that we had the biggest month ever by 50%. And it was crazy. It was like forever, for like years, we struggled to get above like a certain revenue figure. We just like could never push past it. But then this 1 month that we ran this promotion, we saw this huge increase in sales. And I was always skeptical about these increases in sales, because if you do a promotion, if you do like a 20% off, then you got to make up even more because you're less profitable on those sales. But you could see that it clearly just made us have the best month ever, and it was very much worth it. Okay, so that is why you need an offer. Okay. And the thing is, creating the offer doesn't actually have to be complicated. This can be like, the offers can be as easy as a straight discount, like we just said. We just like did just a 20% discount, or it can be as complex as a bonus offering. You can put together like a really complex offer. Okay. So, but the thing is, like, you don't actually have to discount your products if you don't want to. It's just that is an effective promotion. So my 3 commandments of having effective promotions are this. Number 1 is it has to have a deadline. Okay, so scarcity is really important. Number 2 is that if you have any bonuses, it must be equal or greater to the value of the original. Okay, so the thing is, like, if you're selling a Ferrari, nobody's going to buy it because you added, you're throwing in a bonus air freshener. Okay, so you got to make the bonuses actually worthwhile. And then the third thing is you got to follow up. Okay, it's really important to follow up and tell people that the deal is closing and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So guys, let me give you an example of an offer we've done to kind of break it down for you so you see behind the scenes. So you're on this webinar right now because you took a part in our one of our HothX specials, okay? And that HothX special that we ran for September was first you got a discount, then you got access to the growth hacking blueprint, and then you got this quick sales, increasing sales webinar, this presentation we're on right now, and you also got Rank Tracker. So to break that down, first, the offer was already really good. Like HauthX solves like a lot of problems. We got a lot of great results from it. So that's already good in itself. But then we stacked on the discount, and then we solved the objections with the bonuses. So basically what happens is, a lot of people say you want to hop on HauthX and you go, okay, well, I believe you, you guys can deliver the traffic, but what about, how am I actually going to make sure that this increases my sales? So what we did is we used the bonuses to help solve those objections. So we give you the growth hacking blueprint to help you set up a real marketing system that just takes your SEO and puts like rocket fuel on it. And then we showed you, we're on this presentation right now where this is going to show you how to quickly increase your sales. So when you get that traffic, it's going to show you how you can really make sure that you're going to make that money with it. Okay. So those bonuses, they were actually perceived as more valuable than even the pitch. So the Hoth cost $500 to get on, but with the growth hacking blueprint, that's worth, we put it as a $997 of value. But to be honest, it's like we've spent over $250,000 testing that kind of information. So the perceived value of that is very high. In addition to this quick sales webinar plus the Q&A with Mark Hargrove, you get a lot of value. So those bonuses had even more valuable than the actual original pitch. Then after that, we gave it a limited time. So meaning that you had to get on it before the end of September, and then we followed up quite a bit. You guys saw all the follow up. We'll talk a little bit about it with email, with phone, with retargeting. So you probably saw this deal like a lot, right? So that's a pretty good example of, that's probably one of the best promos, the best offers we've ever done. And that was very successful as well. It brought over 150 new people into the HauthX program. So it also led to our best month ever. So by putting a lot of effort into the promo and making it super valuable, that really drove a bunch of people to actually hop on, right? So there's lots of different ways you can do offers. Here's some other examples of ones we've done. It doesn't have to be that complicated. For instance, we did, like I said earlier, we did a 20% off with limited time. That's just straight discount. We did a buy one, get one free, which is like a bundle. So that's a pretty good idea if you can like put multiple things together. Sometimes you have like a regular margin product and then you put a high margin product as a bonus. That's a really good idea. Put it together as a bundle. Get a bonus on a credits order. You saw that we did that last month. That was really good for us. That worked really well. We also did something. We also, from time to time, we do something called a 50% off purchase, which is like a tripwire. So we, if someone has been on our list and they've never purchased for a long time, we'll even go as high as a 50% off just to get them to try something. And that's called a tripwire. So let me explain that a little bit. Not all offers are created for the same goal. Okay. So you need to understand that there's a few different types. Okay. So for instance, we have an offer that's a $7 citation audit. It's normally a $49 product. So we knocked it all the way down to $7. So we basically make nothing on it. I think we probably lose money on this. But the idea is that one is not actually meant to drive revenue. It's meant to be a tripwire. And by tripwire, I mean, this is something that's a really low barrier to entry that allows someone to start a relationship with us. So the first time they give you their credit card, it's a really hard thing to do for people. They don't trust, they don't know who you are. But right after they give you your credit card for the first time or they buy that first product from you, they start this relationship with you. And it becomes so much easier to sell them things later on down the road. So that offer is not actually meant really to drive revenue. I mean, we're going to have to sell like 1 billion of those to actually make up any actual revenue. We lose money on them. But we know that if we get somebody in on a $7 citation audit, there's a very high chance that they're going to start purchasing more products, right? So that's what a tripwire is. So we've also run that 50% off as a tripwire too. Again, just another example of a way that we get someone in the door, and then after they have a good experience with us, they'll buy many more products. We also have offers that are $500 recurring. So like HauthX, like a lot of people probably on this webinar on a HauthX program. And $500 is not a ton to drive your revenue in terms of like the amount of purchases that we get, but it is strategic in that we get recurring revenue from that. That helps out our bottom line. It keeps people on, keeps our revenue stable. Then we also have high ticket offers, right? So we have offers that are $10,000 plus, and those really do drive the revenue. So there's lots of different reasons to do offers. There's different types of offers, but the main point is you got to have an offer, okay? And there really is an art to the offer, okay? So guys, what I want you to do is look for offers. Like when you guys go and buy stuff like this month, next month, or whatever, think about things maybe you bought in the past. Think about why you've bought in certain things. Like, why did you buy them? Study the logic behind them. Study the logic that you went through in your head to buy them. How did you justify those purchases? Because these offers are always being run all around you. It's because that they work, okay? So do you guys see how this is going? If you create a really cool offer, do you see how this is going to encourage people to buy now? Do you guys put a yes in the chat if you guys see this? You guys understand that? Cool. All right. What's up, Joe? What's up, Adriana? All right. So you guys get the idea. All right. Nice. Okay. So guys, here's my challenge. Number one is create an offer. Okay. My challenge to you this month is create the best offer you've ever done. Think of the best promo that you can. And I want you guys to run it this month. Okay. Either do a discount, do a bonus, do a buy one, get one. Think of some way that you can create a special offer for your audience. Okay. Something that's going to be really cool. That's going to hype them up. Okay. So it's my challenge. It's challenge number one, okay? We're gonna have some more challenges as well. All right, let's get into number two, hacking promotion. Okay, so guys, we have now created the offer. We got something that's gonna make people wanna buy. Now we need to promote it. So guys, I wanna show you three really cool ways that we've hacked the promotion of our offers. And the first one is mailing for profits. Second one is taking advantage of missed opportunities. And third one is funneling and website traffic. So let me explain what each one of those means, okay? So the first one, tactic number one is mailing for profits. So your email list is basically the holy grail, okay? And if you haven't built an email list yet, that's totally cool. Just go follow the growth blueprint that you also got access to, and that's gonna show you exactly how to get your email list started and really start growing that, okay? So the thing is, the more you mail your list, the more you send emails to your list, the more sales you're gonna get, okay? And many people, including me, are scared to mail their list, okay? Or at least I was, okay? I started off very hesitant to promote to our list. I was very scared that people were not going to like it. People were going to think it was spammy and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is that now that we have over 120,000 people on the list, and I've gone from not mailing the list very much to emailing it more and seeing the types of responses that we get, for sure, well, hands down, you should not be scared to mail your list, okay? Don't be weak, all right? Just mail your list. But with that said, you got to sandwich value, okay? If every email that you send is a promo to your list, you're not going to have a list for very long. You're going to really ruin your list, okay? So the question is, how do you hit your list more but not annoy them, okay? So let me show you what we do. So here's how to mail your list more without annoying your customers. Basically, the idea is to break up your message into helpful angles or stories that are actually valuable in themselves, and then lightly sell at the end, okay? And then on the last day, kind of like we're talking for the scarcity aspect of it, basically do a hard pitch on the last day, okay? So you're combining value and selling at the same time. So you want to be cool. And the thing is, guys, people are going to unsubscribe from your list, and that's totally okay, all right? Not everybody, not every girl you go up to is going to want to date you, right? And that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with you. People are going to unsubscribe from your list. But if you do it in this way, if you combine that value and selling at the same time, you will see a sales rush, just like these people on the right, okay? So let me give you a little example of the promotion that we actually just did just now, because I think it's a good example of this concept in action, okay? So what we did is on this last week, we wanted to hit the list every day that we could, which was we want to do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the promo ended on Saturday. And we didn't want to send them like, hey, the promo's ending in 3 days, hey, it's ending in 2 days, hey, it's ending in 1 day, like, because that'd be too many promos. So how did we weave in the value? So what I did is we split up each one of the different bonuses for this HothX promotion into a separate email, and then told a story that kind of promotes it. So this is the strategy behind those emails that you guys got. So the first day, I think it was Wednesday, we wrote an email that said, we messed up. Okay. And it was basically a story about how in the past, the Hoth, we didn't actually work on our SEO very much. We were just working on our clients' SEO. Then we decided that we really needed to. So we buckled down. We created this new strategy based on what was working in Google. And we saw a huge increase, had a great success with that. And then we took that same strategy, applied it to our clients, and it did really awesome. So you guys should buy HothX. So we told a cool story, and then we promoted the HothX promotion. The second day, we wanted to focus on the growth blueprint, which is like one of the bonuses. So I told a story about how I was paralyzed, how one of the first things I did online is to try to launch this online guitar course. And I just had read so many articles. I just read so many articles on the internet. They all came rushing back to me, and I knew too much. I knew too many different things, and I didn't know what the next step was. I needed somebody to be like, dude, this is the thing you need to work on. And that's kind of what Growth Blueprint does. Growth Blueprint takes all the millions of like articles or whatever and shows you just the things that actually matter. And so that story, you know, I was hoping to connect with people on that. If like we see a lot of like really smart people in our company, that it's very easy to get bogged down in the details. So the Growth Blueprint can really help you with that. So that's what the email was. So you can see how there was value in there, and also we were promoting. The third email was I dare you. So this is all about how small pieces of advice from the right place can set you on a totally different path, and you can go and grow so much bigger than you previously believed. And one of those things you can do is you can get some advice from someone that's achieved a ton of business success, which is Mark Hargrove. And so that's how we promoted that. So it was also a valuable piece, but promoted, again, the entire HothX deal. So this email promo was a lot different. We didn't just do, straight promos every day, but you guys can see how we interweave the value and the promotion. And then the last day, you guys know we did the hard promo, which said it's ending today. So the main idea is that we break up each facet into a short story that shows an angle of a product. So guys, I want you to think about the products that you want to sell this month, the products that you sell. What are the different reasons why someone would buy that product? Because there's probably not just one reason. There's probably a lot of different reasons they would buy that product, okay? What are the different angles that you can create, that you can talk to them about? What are the different ways that your products actually help people? Okay, what stories can you tell from your past? What kind of successes have your clients had? What kind of successes have you had that you can tell to really get in the minds and let people understand your past previous stories, right? And when you do that, you can pitch lightly in every one of those emails, and people are going to like it, okay? So once you have this, you can really mail more often. You guys can sell more, okay? So you guys see that? Does that make sense? Can I get a hell yeah in the chat if you guys see that? All right. All right, Joe gave me a number 1. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so tactic number 2, guys, in terms of promotion. So promoting to the other 8%, your missed opportunities. So guys, if you have this email list, if it gets to a substantial size, you're probably getting 25% or less opens, okay? If you have an email list that has like 10 people on it, you probably have really good open rates. But as soon as you start really growing that up to a few thousand people or 50,000 people, you're gonna start seeing your open rates decline, okay? So that means the vast majority of the people on your list are not opening your emails. Kind of like this pie, right? So we took out that one section of the pie, but the majority of the people are still waiting there to be taken, right? Or they're waiting to hear your message. So that means they're not seeing your deals. You know that your deals are what's going to drive your revenue, but they're not seeing it. So how do you help this? Okay. So the answer is retargeting. Okay. And if you guys never heard of retargeting before, retargeting is basically a way to run advertisements to people that have visited your website or on your email list, okay? And it works. You can do it with a few different networks. For instance, you could run these on Facebook, or you could run them around the web with something called AdRoll. There's actually a bunch of different platforms that you can do retargeting on, but we use Facebook and we use AdRoll. And the thing that's pretty cool is that, guys, we run a ton of Facebook advertising and actually just paid traffic and whatnot. But by far the best ROI that we get comes from retargeting people with a special offer, okay? So guys, I want to show you how we do that. All right. So here's just an example. Basically, if you want to run retargeting on Facebook, you can just sign up for an advertising account on business.facebook.com. Then you'll get in here to come over here on the left-hand side. There's something called audiences. You'll go to that. Then you'll create something called a custom audience. And then what it looks like is this. Facebook will bring up this little screen where you can actually just upload a list of email addresses that you can target. And then if any of the email addresses match what Facebook has on file, you'll be able to target those people on Facebook. So yeah, you like in the screenshot you can see here, it just allows you to open or upload a customer file. In addition to that, you can also put like a little piece of code on your website that will drop cookies on people's computers, so that Facebook will have this huge list of anyone that's visited your website. So you can do both, all right? And yeah, like here's the screenshot where you can actually copy your own data or import from MailChimp. So pretty simple. So basically, Facebook will create this huge list for you, and it's very similar if you do it on AdRoll or whatever else. But basically, for the ad, you can see that I'm not a genius copywriter or anything. Even just running a very simple ad that tells people about the promotion, that will work really well. You can see this one just says, get a huge link bonus when you get in our Hoth Mega Managed SEO deal. It ends December 31st. Click here. As you can tell, not a copywriting genius, just a very simple ad. The thing is that this is an extremely targeted ad because these are people that have already opted into our email list. They're people that have already visited our website. And this is really what's going to help capture those other 80, 90% of people that never opened your email with a promo, okay? So this, again, guys, this is the best ROI on ad spend that we use or that we get with these ads. And they're super simple. Like you can set this up very, very quickly, okay? And I haven't even, when I actually analyzed these from time to time, and I'm consistently blown away how good of ROI that we get. I mean, some of these, like you saw the screenshot up here, I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna go back, but on this one, you can see the first one, we got 5,000% ROI. So we can get up to hundreds to thousands % ROI on these ads, okay? Which is really, really cool, all right? So I totally suggest you doing these retargeting ads, okay? So anyway, the cool thing is after you get that pixel on your website, basically Facebook or AdRoll, they'll start building up this big list of anybody that's visited your website in the last 30, 60, 90, 180 days, and you'll get a bigger and bigger list of people to target. So that allows you to capture way more people, all right? All right, so now the third part is funneling your website traffic. So you guys know there's people coming to your website every day. They're hitting your homepage, blog pages, product service pages. But if you have a special deal, you always want to get that deal in front of anyone that hits on your website, right? And so we use this little tool called hellobar.com. You guys can see a little screenshot of it here. It's just a bar that sits at the top of every single page. And every time that someone comes to our site, they can see that. And it just tells people about what deals we have going on right then, okay? So this little tool just drives thousands or hundreds or thousands of clicks to our special offers every month, right? Plus, what's kind of cool about HelloBar is you can split test the headlines. You can see like which ones are getting the most clicks. So over time, as you run different promotions in your business, you'll see which ones are your audience is the most interested in. So I love looking at these over time and revisiting old promos that we run to see what people were really interested in. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So guys, by combining awesome email promos plus retargeting plus website funneling from the HelloBar, do you guys see how this is going to be unmissable? Let's see in the chat. It looks like we got a couple questions. So let me see. Let's see. Adam says this is really smart marketing, but why not use AdWords retargeting directly? What's the point of going to a third party like AdRoll? Great question. In terms of like AdRoll versus AdWords, I just use AdRoll because it's really easy to set up, but I don't have a specific opinion. You can totally use AdWords retargeting. So let's see what else we got. How are you capturing emails from people without making them a special offer? Most of the email lists are people who purchase products. I don't have any dormant email lists. So great question again. We answer there's a lot of ways we collect emails, and we talk about that in the growth blueprint. But But yeah, we do things like we do pop-ups, we run paid traffic, all kinds of stuff to collect more lead type of emails. If you only have purchase emails on your list, that's awesome too, man. Those are like super high quality leads. But they're not even leads; they're your customers now, right? So that's good. But if you go through Hoff Growth Blueprint, we actually talk a lot about all the different ways that we do to collect email addresses. So does HelloBar affect site speed at all? I wouldn't worry about that at all, man. I don't worry about it because the benefits of the benefits of having a HelloBar, it's just it much outweighs any kind of like page speed decrease. So, yep. All right. So, guys, by combining these three things, basically your promotions are going to be unmissable. Okay, you guys are going to really capture so much more by emailing your list more and doing the retargeting and funneling all that traffic from HelloBar. Okay. So guys, my challenge number 2 for promotion is that when you guys come up with your good promo for this month, what I want you to do is I want you to email your list at least 3 times with different angles and one hard close. Make sure you do one hard close on that last day. I also want you guys, if you have never run retargeting before, sign up for a Facebook ad account or AdRoll or AdWords, or there's actually a lot of different retargeting platforms. Doesn't really matter, but run a promotion ad, okay? Run a retargeting ad either by uploading your email list or putting a pixel on your website. And then number 3, put up a blog post and do HelloBar on your site to drive people to that promotion page, okay? Pretty cool, right? All right, so guys, the last part is hacking the close, all right? So this is pretty important. So you guys are going to close the deal by adding scarcity and follow-up. So scarcity is actually one of the most powerful things. This guys is really crazy. Like I didn't really understand the power of scarcity, meaning like limited time. Either limiting the time or limiting the quantity of something, it really, really incentivizes people to make a decision and take an action. And that's exactly what you want to happen. Scarcity is one of the most powerful things. All right. So I want to share with you guys 3 quick ways we've hacked the close with scarcity. Just give you some ideas of ways you can put scarcity into your business, your offers, your promos. Okay. So first thing, I'll talk about limiting the number of webinar registrations that we had. Number 2, limiting the time deal by mailing it. And 3 is a really cool Webby promotion that we did that we tried out and it worked really well. So I want to share that with you. Okay, so first, limiting the number of registrants. So when we first started running webinars, like one of the first times we ran a webinar, I just signed up for like the GoToWebinar 500 attendee plan. And basically we emailed out the webinar sign up and we like maxed it out. Like immediately we got 500 people to sign up for this webinar. And actually I found out that a lot of people were signing up on the landing page, but they weren't actually getting registered because we maxed out the plan. So I felt like really bad or felt stupid, but we actually had to upgrade. So we re-emailed out to the list and said that we maxed it out and we said that we maxed out our plan. So you guys got to get in on this because there's only a limited number of seats. Now we only have like 1,000 seats. And we got double the amount of registrants, okay? Because it gave it some social proof. It really showed that people that, you know, if you're just sitting there and get invited to a webinar one time, you're like, yeah, whatever. But if they're like, oh shit, we maxed out the seats, like there's only a limited number of spots. Like actually this really happened. It's not like a lie or it's not some kind of marketing gimmick or anything. That really happened. We got double the amount of registrants. And that was like one of the most popular attended webinars that we've ever had. So that was super cool to see. So guys, think about how can you put like a limited number on whatever you're selling, whether it's like a registration, whether it's a promotion, whether it's an offer, but how can you put a limited number on what you're selling? Could be even a limited number of bonuses. All right. So that was pretty cool. The second thing that we did, last day of the sale warning. So this is pretty important to understand is that the last day of the month is always our biggest day because our promos always end on the last day, and we always mail on the last day. And this doesn't necessarily have to be on like, you know, the last day of the month. This could be the last day of the promo. The thing is, guys, at least 50% of your sales for whatever you're selling is going to come at the last minute, okay? Because people always wait, and in that last minute, when you say this is the last time you can get on this, that's going to make people purchase, okay? So you guys can even see this. If you follow any other like big marketers, you'll see that they can get even more aggressive with this. We're not super aggressive. We just send like a last day warning. But some smart marketers, they send multiple emails in that last day, or with multiple hour warnings. So they'll say like, oh, 12-hour countdown until this goes away, 8-hour countdown until this goes away. So you can even get more aggressive if you want. And then the thing is, guys, you can also use your ads to reinforce this as well. So when I look back at our ads and I saw which ones perform the best, our highest return ads have that like, they have the phrase, this is the last day in them, because that really drives people to take action. Okay, so you guys need to always do the last day of the sale warning. Make sure that you mail that day. Don't just tell people it's going to end and then let them figure it out. You always got to mail the last day. At least 50% of your sales will come from that. Okay. And then the third cool thing that I want to share with you guys is this little countdown webinar trick. So I got this from Russell Brunson. If you guys haven't checked him out, you should definitely do that. Like clickfunnels.com. I try to get all of his stuff. But anyway, basically, if you're running a live presentation, like if you're running like a webinar or whatever, you can totally use this trick and it works really, really well. All right, in this case, in this instance, we were promoting a product that we have called Hoth Mega, and it had some bonuses on it, okay? And so what we did is I went through the whole webinar and explained the product and the service and whatever, the strategy behind it. And what happened is we got to the last slide. And this is, you guys can see a picture of the last slide here. And you can see that basically it has a Q&A. It says what you're getting. It's got the price details, and it has a 30-minute countdown. And what I said is that, okay, guys, you guys saw the pitch. You see what you can get. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 30-minute countdown timer here. I'm going to sit and answer Q&A for 30 minutes. And then after this timer hits 0, all the bonuses go away, okay? And so I didn't know if this was going to work or anything. And it was kind of like a weird little trick, but I did that. I sat there and I answered Q&A, and I kept reminding them like, oh, so we got 20 minutes left. We got 10 minutes left. And then when the timer hit 0, I just said, thanks guys for hanging out with us today. And congratulations to everybody that got in, and we'll see you on the next one. I closed it down, reloaded our sales, and we had done $35,000 in an hour and a half just on that webinar alone. So that was the fastest growth period that we had, just in an hour and a half, because we had that extreme time stop right there. Now, we don't do these on our webinars anymore, or we haven't, but this is a really cool instance to just see if you want to close sales really quickly by putting that 30-minute timer on and forcing people to take action or to make a decision. That really drove a ton of revenue really quickly. Okay, so guys, basically the point is when you limit things, either time-wise or number-wise, it really forces people to make a decision. So do you guys see how powerful scarcity is to drive the close, guys? I'm sure. Yeah, you guys can see how powerful this is, okay? This is one of the most powerful things, okay? So guys, let's see, we got slides messed up here. Okay, so put scarcity on your deal. That's my challenge to you guys. When you think about your promotion, put scarcity on it, okay? Make a limited time offer, make a limited number, and guys, be honest with it. You know, you guys can totally be honest if you're gonna actually close the deal down. That's what we do, you know? And let people know that this deal is ending. That's very important that you follow up and let them know. So guys, to recap, number one, create an awesome offer. That's the most important. It's the foundation. If you don't have a good offer, everything else is irrelevant, okay? Number two, use email, use retargeting, use Hello Bar to promote. Make sure you get as many eyeballs on this offer as you can. And the third thing is close the deal with scarcity, okay? Make sure to remind people that the deal is closing, that it's going away, there's a limited number, there's a limited time, and that's gonna work for you. So if you guys run it, I want you guys to run it this month and do these 3 things, okay? And then email me and tell me how it performed. Do it at clayton@thehoth.com, okay? So I really want you guys to have the best month ever, and then continue to do this every month, okay? When we started doing promos, I could just tell, you know, we didn't really do them every month, and I could just tell very clearly the months that we ran promos, that was just a new revenue driving, that was the biggest month we've ever had, you know, every time. So it's super important that you guys do this. If you guys want to increase sales quickly, these are the best tricks, okay? So guys, thank you so much for joining us on this presentation. So now we are going to get into the Q&A with Mark. So let me see if I can get Mark back up on here. Mark, are you there? If you want to turn on your audio. Oh, what's up?
Great job, Clayton.
All right, thanks. All right, guys, so if you have any questions for Mark, you can put them in the chat. So to give you like a little context, Mark is a Hoth partner, my boss, and over the course of his years and experience, participated in over 30 business acquisitions, taken a company public, done a public IPO, flown all over the world making business deals, entered the ring as a WWE professional wrestler, sold over $300 million worth of products and services online. So this is a really good chance to ask some questions, get little quick tips and advice, anything that you'd like. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. And Mark, if you have any anything else to say about your background.
Go ahead and share your screen if you would, bud. Can you
What's
go ahead
that?
and unshare your screen? Oh, go ahead and unshare your screen, Clayton.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
All right.
Well, great job, Clayton, and thank you all for sticking around for a little Q&A. I hope I can make this worth everybody's while. Like I've said in the past, if you pick up one nugget, it'll certainly be worth your 30 minutes. And I'm not the Wizard of Oz, so I don't know everything. So there may be some things that I just have no comment or don't feel like I can contribute. But there are certainly some things that I've learned in this 20 plus years of business that I would be happy to share. Most of the important lessons that I've learned were very expensive, either pain or really expensive cash wise. And if I can save you guys from making those same mistakes, I'm happy to share that. So let me see what I've got. I know somebody asked earlier was really
before?
There was an SEO question about is it good to boost your second tier links? Absolutely. Boosting the links that link to your website is a strategy that we use and it works. And then it's like, oh, should I boost the links? It's boosting links. The boost links that we sell, we point links to those really to make sure that they get indexed. At a certain point, there's a diminishing value, but certainly if you have a guest post or you have a piece of content that's linking to you that is very valuable, the more links you can boost to that to make that article or that press release or that guest post to juice it, by all means. And certainly you can get a lot more aggressive with the links that you would point to somebody else's site than you'd link to your own money site. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. For example, if you had an article in the USA Today, you can boost that thing. USA Today is certainly not going to get penalized, and the more juice you can push through that link that's on that powerhouse site, the better. And it definitely works. Somebody said in here, you guys should be offering managed email marketing. I would agree. Clayton's very good at it, and it could be something that we could probably help some people with.
Yeah, and if you guys go through the Hoth Growth Blueprint, we talk a little bit more about email marketing and the strategy behind it. So even if we don't offer it as a managed service, you can see the strategy behind it in the Growth Blueprint. Chris is asking, any good ideas for offers on website design? What do you think, Mark?
Well, website design, I'll be real honest with you because I don't think there's reason to not be honest. That's where I cut my teeth. I was in web design in the mid-90s, and I tell people half the battle is picking a good business. If you're great in a bad business model, you're going to be average. But if you're good in a great business model, you're going to be even better. And this is my personal opinion. I struggled in web design because there was not a reoccurring element. I was chasing projects, and you're half the time you're selling, and the other half the time you're delivering. And when I discovered web hosting, I gave away my web design business to somebody else because hosting allowed us to get reoccurring revenue. The servers did all the work. Now, this was a lot different. The hosting has certainly went down and become commoditized. But the same could be said about web design. One of my good friends, Avishai, started a company you may have heard of called Wix. And that has, really made it much more difficult for people to sell web design. So it's a tough business. And I'm not telling you pick a different business model. I'm just telling you, you are in a tough business. It's hard to scale because if you're not coding, you're not designing, you're not making money. You are, it's the equivalent of swinging a hammer if you're in construction. If you're not swinging a hammer, you're not making money. It's just this is a little more savvy business. You're building websites. And I've never met a person that's been able to scale web design. It's a tough business to scale. You are one person. You can add bot. The only way we can scale it is to add bodies to it. And to me, that's a bad business model. So I'm not a big fan of web design as a great business. But that doesn't mean there aren't a lot of great web designers and there aren't a lot of people trying to use web design to build their business. An offer for web design, you would have to find out what the hot points are to for somebody who's looking to get design. It's a tough business because, when we try to sell it, people are comparing, well, my nephew can do it for $100 and you're going to try to charge me $5,000. It's just a tough business. I won't lie. It's a business I just don't like. But there's something for everybody. So
being pretty harsh, man.
I don't like web design. I would tell you to get the hell out of web design and pick a different business model. That's what I would tell you. And to be real honest, find a reoccurring business that you can use some of the skill sets that you have in web design to pick a different business. Figure out how to build a platform that you can sell over and over. Use your design skills and hire a programmer and build something that would allow you to create a software as a service that accomplishes a lot of the things web design. And that's what Avishai did. He said, he was a pioneer in the web hosting business, and he took that same model of all the good things about web hosting and he built Wix. And now he has web design as a service, and it's really made it even more difficult for web designers to make money. So probably not the answer you hear, but it's a tough racket. It's a tough gig, and I don't see it getting any easier 4 and 5 and 10 years from now. And I know the question is what kind of offer would you do for web design?
I'll
maybe
throw in 2 cents if you want.
Please help me out here, Clayton.
So a lot of our agencies actually use web design not as a necessarily core business, but actually as a really good way to get clients in the door to sell them many more services. So web design may not be your moneymaker, but you could turn it into a recurring thing in that people need their website hosted, so you can charge them hosting every month, first of all. But second of all, after they get their website, what else do they need? Well, they need sales, they need traffic, they need all these different kinds of things. So we see a lot of people using website design as the first way to get a client in the door, and then selling them recurring SEO, selling them recurring PPC, selling them recurring marketing types of services. So offers could be anything. It could be many different things. It could be you get your website and then you get a free month of SEO, or you could even take things that you do, you actually would do normally in your website design, and cut them out and use them as bonuses. So maybe you actually do your website design, and then you also offer SEO, like on-page optimization, for instance. Well, what you can do is you can say, we'll design your website, but then as a bonus, we'll actually do your on-page optimization if you buy now. So it's a good way to just like make a limited time offer, even by not even doing anything extra. So those are my 2 answers. Basically, number 1 is that you don't necessarily need to use it as your core offering. It may be that tripwire to get people into your funnel to sell them many more services. And then number 2, you can do lots of different things as long as it's a bonus, an extra, something like that. Either your free first month of hosting, or free on-page optimization, or your free first month of SEO, or we'll install these marketing tools for you. Any kind of stuff like that. Whatever you think is going to answer the objections of the people that are buying. Those are usually the best bonuses to put together an offer. What do you think, Mark?
No, I think it's great. I think it's a great tip.
Cool.
Any tip for good autoresponder? Right now, we're currently using MailChimp. We're looking for other solutions, some more sophistication, so we can run multiple autoresponders that are driven off of actions versus having everything kind of go through one funnel. So MailChimp definitely works. We've got over 100,000 people on our MailChimp list, so it works for us. We're trying to take some things to the next level. We use Customer.io to do action-driven emails, and we want to get a little more sophisticated where we can get 2 and 3 and 4 and a dozen different autoresponders going where they don't step on each other, where they'll pause. But we're still using MailChimp for 90% of our mailers, so it's not the best, but it is functional.
Yeah, I would make an important point here is that part of the growth blueprint actually tells you exactly what to do, because a lot of really smart people get bogged down in the details. There's a lot of different autoresponders to use, and MailChimp is actually, if you talk to any email marketing experts, like I've seen so many people like just roll their eyes at me when I tell them that we're on MailChimp because it's so like basic. But we grew one of the fastest growing companies in the US to a pretty substantial revenue amount with the simplest autoresponder. So it's less the tools and more the strategy that you use. If you wanted to get more into it, the one I'm looking at right now is called Drip. If your business is, if you have a lot of, if you do a lot of your business online, meaning like your sales actually happen online, there's some cool things that you can do with a little more advanced email marketing. For instance, you'll have your normal autoresponder that we talk about, but you might have some trigger-based emails that go out. So you might be able to segment your list into people that have not purchased. They've signed up but not purchased, and then send only those people a specific offer. You might be able to send people, if they're connected to a sales representative, you might be able to send them an email that's trigger-based based on an action. If someone stays on a page for a really long time or fills out a form, you can send them a specific email. So those are like trigger-based emails. But the main point is that I would focus more on the things that really matter, like keeping it simple, like not getting too bogged down in the details. That I think is a pretty important point to make. So let's see. What else we got?
I'll go ahead. I'd like to dive a little more into picking a great business model, because we all have a choice. You know, we're in the business we're in, but when I say we, meaning you guys, all of us, we're doing some type of business, but it's by choice. You know, it's America. We can pick whatever market we want to be in. So it's kind of like getting married. Pick a great partner. You have a great marriage. You make a bad choice. You're gonna have some problems. So pick a great business, guys. You have a choice in what business you're in. Maybe you're getting tunnel vision into the business you're in, but start with picking a great business. So what does that mean? And these are my opinions, but I'll give you some definitions of what I think great business are. I love reoccurring revenue. I was lucky that when we found web hosting 20 years ago, it was the perfect business model, high margin. The computers did all the work. Every month you bill somebody, and people are lazy. I'll tell you a little story. We sold our hosting company a couple of years ago, but we ran it for 19 years. And when we would set somebody up on hosting, back then the welcome page would say website, domainname.com coming soon. And that would just be a white page. And that means they hadn't uploaded anything to their homepage yet. And you guys probably know this, you see cPanel and all that type of stuff. But we had customers that we got our first year in business that would have that, domainname.com coming soon, which means, but they paid $14.95 per month, every month. And a year later, they're still paying $14.95. They just, they had their domain name, they had the placeholder. And the reason people didn't cancel was it was their dream. It was their business. If they canceled, it was like giving up on their dream. It was kind of like the comfort of having a health club membership but never going. If you cancel your health club membership, you're definitely not going to get out of shape. So, but it was just the comfort of keeping it. And then there's the sheer laziness. If I make you say yes every month to sell, eventually you cancel. But if you have to say no to cancel and you're lazy, those are extra months of billing. And I'm not saying that's how you build a business, but the point is you have to take that psychology of knowing that. And we learned it by accident, that people are lazy. And if you continue to build them until they say, hey, please cancel me, and you add that up, we hosted 100,000 websites. So we had, tens of thousands of customers that would have people on reoccurring billing. So if you have a business that's not reoccurring, I challenge you either to pick a different business or figure out how you can make your business reoccurring. Think of your insurance company. It's an annuity. They get paid every month, every quarter, every year. Hosting's another example, but figuring out how to make your business reoccurring. We bought The Hoth about 4 years ago, and one of the reasons we didn't like, or we almost didn't do the deal, was because it was a transactional based business. They had zero reoccurring element into their business. Now people repeat purchased, but that was because they had to come back and physically rebuy. So now 4 years later, over 50% of our revenue is now reoccurring, and our goal is to get that number close to the 70 or 80% range. So we took a great business, and made it even better by turning it into a reoccurring business. So that's one of the things I'll challenge you is think of ways you can take your existing customers and turn it into a reoccurring business. Because this way, you're getting paid in the future for the work you're doing now, and it makes life easier. There's a term called TBR. We call it to be received. If you're a transactional-based business, you have no to be received next month. It's just whatever new sales you're going to do. But it's nice to wake up and go into the month and have enough to cover payroll and to be received. And that's your reoccurring to be billed revenue. So really think about how you can take your business and add that reoccurring element into it.
Yeah, I know. I think we've seen a lot of those businesses that are traditionally non-recurring, or they'll be like, we could never do recurring type models come up in the last few years, like Dollar Shave Club, razors. You usually just go buy one at the grocery store or whatever, but then they put it on a subscription model where you get new ones every month. Or we've seen food meal subscriptions, right? You usually just go to the grocery store and get stuff whenever you want, but you can actually get like meals prep delivered to you. So a lot of these like traditionally like one-off or a la carte type businesses are finding ways to put a subscription model in. Graphic design services. There's a graphic design service called Design Pickle. That's what it's called. Yeah, Design Pickle, where instead of like just doing a $5, please make this one graphic for me, they do unlimited graphic design just for a recurring monthly fee. So there's lots of ways you can take stuff that's traditionally non-recurring and find a way to sell it as recurring service. So
let me ask a question out there with the chat. If you have kids, if you have no kids, type in a 1. If you have kids, type in a 2. I'd like to just poll the audience up. So kid, there's a 2. We got some kids, 2. Lots of parents out there. There's a 1, Chris. There's your dog count. You'll know you don't have kids when you have kids. The dog, 2. Lots of kids. Ryan, kid. So so this advice is more for the people without kids, but I also have some advice for those of you with kids. If you don't have kids and you're in business, you have this secret weapon, and it's called time, because you can't work as hard as you do today in your business once you have kids. And I just owe it to people who are in this stage before they have kids to take real advantage of it, because once that disappears, you can never go back to pre-kids, because you can't be the hardest working guy in the office and the best dad. It's very challenging. So you have to make trade-offs, and everybody wants to be a great dad or a great mom. So if you don't have kids, you've got this window. Take full advantage of it so that when you do have kids, you hopefully set yourself up. And those of you that have kids, the great thing is you're a little older, wiser. When I was 20, I thought I knew everything. Come to find out, I really didn't know anything. And that's your secret weapon, is being a little older with kids, is that you've got that wisdom, you've got that knowledge, and you've got something very, very important to succeed in business. Taking care of those kids and giving them something is the biggest motivator in life to succeed. So you have a little something, you have a little extra, something a little extra in your belly to compete against these people that don't have that extra. Couple other things I'm going to mention. Find mentors. Find mentors that are where you want to be. I can't stress this enough. People that are successful love to give back to people that are respectful of their time, that have an eagerness to listen and work hard and put those plans of action into place. And, great ways to find mentors. Everybody's got to eat. It's something we do every day. We eat. So, find and target that mentor. Find 3 or 4 or 5, and then come up with a plan of action, how to get on their calendar. People have to eat. Offer to buy them lunch. Make it easy for it. Pick a place that's close to where they work. And if you offer that to 4 or 5 people that you've targeted as mentors, there's a good chance 2 or 3 will take you up on it. You'll know right off the bat if there's some chemistry. And like I said, I just can't stress it enough that people that are where you want to be, if you can get them in your rotation of meeting and their mindset, and get a couple blueprints from them that help them successful, or maybe they even give you a couple favors. They throw you a bone because they like you. That only happens because you took action and you sought out and you found them and you made a point to get on their calendar. That's called taking action and doing something. But, mentors are anybody that's successful will tell you that they had mentors that helped get them where they are. I had many in my life, and I still have mentors that I chase after to inspire me and to try to take where I'm at to the next level. So find those mentors and use them. Let's see if we got some questions here.
Yeah, there's a couple that were up there a little bit farther that I wanted to
go ahead,
address. Someone said, what is the best cold traffic leads opt-in for digital marketing services? I love your opinion on this, Mark, but I can just tell from our experience, I'll just tell you what we did. I don't know what the best one is, but I'll tell you what we did is we went out there and tested 3 different ones. We ran cold traffic on Facebook. We're selling SEO services. And We ran one that was a local SEO webinar. That was really, a lot of our clients are local or they're selling local services. We ran that as a lead magnet. We ran one that was a keyword research guide, and we ran one that was the top SEO tools. By far, just a simple, stupid list of the top SEO tools that we use. It's not stupid, not that stupid, but in terms of the other two, I thought the other two were much more valuable. But the simple one really worked. Partially, I think because people on Facebook, they're not looking for, here's something you need to invest a ton of time in. They're not looking for, hey, welcome to our 6-month course on whatever. They're looking for something they can get quick, they consume it, whatever. So we tested those three, and that's the one that worked the best. But we've changed over time. We've tried a bunch of different things. So the best advice that I think I could give to that is think about what are some quick things, if you're advertising on Facebook, that is, what are some quick things that people could consume that your target market would solve a problem of your target market? And then go test those. You'll see which ones, test them against each other. You'll see which ones have the lowest cost per lead. So that's what we did. Hopefully that's helpful to you. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the whole lead magnet concept was really new to me when we bought the Hoth and we started working together. We had never used that back in the hosting days. We were a little less sophisticated. We were kind of more first to market, and then we grew through acquisition. We were really good at buying companies and migrating them into our existing business. But the lead magnet model works great. You have to give something to get something. You want that email address, so you got to give something of value. And if you can scale that and hit a wide audience with that, run traffic to it, you'll get your emails. And then after you get your emails, you need to build trust with the marketing messages, and then eventually you ask for their business. Right now, we have some great tools that we've built. If you type in Google Keyword Planner, it's a free keyword research tool. It ranks on the first page, gets about 80,000 searches a month.
If you can develop a tool, that's an amazing lead magnet.
Yeah, we have the SEO contract that we give away. That's been great, where we give you an SEO template that you can modify for your own agency, and we give that away. And it's a proven contract that works. We give that in exchange for an email. You'd only want an SEO contract if you're an agency or you're in this industry. So by giving away things that they would only see value in this if they would be your target customer, because an SEO contract is irrelevant for anybody unless you're in that space. So connect the dots and find something of value, and then test it against your other lead magnet, and the one that's winning, that's where you dump your marketing dollars and your traffic into.
Yeah, and there's no best one either. It'll change over time. I mean, we've like eventually, if you run paid traffic, your offers are going to burn out. Like your CPLs just start raising after a period of time, and you're just going to have to change out your offers. So think about what's your target market. What are the problems that they run into? What's something that you give that can quickly solve their issue? We've run a ton. Like Mark said, we ran tools. We ran a list of ways to get more SEO leads. We've run tons of different stuff. You can also look to what is some top trending content in your industry, or what are your best performing blog posts? What are the blog posts that have the most comments? Because they probably solve one of the problems. You can package that blog post into a PDF and offer that as something. So there's lots of different ways. There's no real best one, but that's what we've done.
Trying to read this long question here, see if we can get an answer for that. It looks like it's a subscription business.
As a side, the one that starts as a side project?
Yeah.
As a side project, I've been running a national directory for independent pros in a certain niche for 14 years. The business model is really simple, $8 a month subscription. I've done little to no work on it. The typical income for this niche is low. My site doesn't rank as nearly as well as competitors, so that's part of the reason I haven't pushed sales. I seem to have a stable 50 subscribers, and I do think that there's some SEO value. I'm developing a new app that would actually get our members jobs from people, calls from clients, but still a couple months out. I think I would have something I can point to that offers real true value. I'd make roughly $5 delivered job, and 100 a day is a good target to start. While I'm in this sort of limbo, I'm doing HothX, trying to get my site to rank higher and just chiming in casually on social media related groups, but never pushing my site. Would you do something completely different in this lead up period, or do you think my long game type strategy is fine? Mark, you want to start?
Well, he's really vague about the niche, so it's really hard
Yeah.
to, obviously organic SEO is a great investment because once you can get the rankings, those are evergreen leads that are going to happen over time. The problem with putting all your efforts into SEO is that it is a long game. It's a patient game. If you want immediate results, paid traffic to get targeted emails is a much faster way. It's usually more expensive, but the results are typically, you can scale those at your own control, where SEO, you're kind of at the mercy of Google. So as I do believe organic SEO is the best investment if you want quick, instant results. SEO, you may want to complement that with running paid traffic with Facebook. And the good thing is you can run small tests and really see at a small amount, what is your cost per email lead? Spend $100, $200, and you can find out that average cost per email, and then mail to those emails. And if they start to convert, then you can figure out what your break-even point is per email and what your lifetime value of these customers are, and then just back it out. So,
yeah, we really talk about that in
public. Joe says is the notaries. So these are people that are notaries, I would assume, Joe. Yeah.
saying, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously targeting that list, using Facebook as a way to maybe target notaries. I don't know if they have that demographic in there. It's a very niche one, but obviously the search, it's going to be a very niche search term. So if you can dominate the first page for that, so HealthX would be great if people are actually looking for your service. If they're not looking for it, then it's not going to help. You kind of have to proactively push it out through Facebook.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I would maybe frame it a little bit different. I'm not sure if I really understand exactly your model or your audience, but in general, instead of thinking of yourself or your business having like one product offering or two, think about all marketing starts with the actual market. Who is that person? And usually those people have a lot of different problems, not just the one that you're selling. Like, for instance, the people that are on the Hoth list, they're marketers, they're business owners. They have lots more problems than just SEO. So we could develop more services over time. We could sell them PPC, we could sell them web design, we could sell them reputation management, we could sell them we could sell them marketing training, we could sell them Facebook ads, we could sell them all these kinds of things. These people, when you look at who the person is, it starts with the market, and they're going to have lots of different needs, wants, desires, pain points that you can sell to them forever. So instead of thinking of your business as I have this one product, think of it as who is the customer and what are all the different pain points they have. Once you capture their email address, you can continue to sell them different types of things until they either die or unsubscribe off of your list. So I think that's the most important question to ask is like, is this a valuable customer to go after? I always say, don't sell shit to poor people because it's going to be really difficult, right? So if the market is not a spender market, then that's going to be more difficult. But I would also encourage you to model what other people are doing. Almost all really good markets already have advertisers, products, services serving that market, and go see what kinds of other products are being sold to this market and make deals, do affiliate deals, do anything else to try to figure out what this market actually wants, what they'll actually buy. That's what I would do. So it would be a multi-pronged strategy. That's what I think.
And don't be afraid to get ideas from your competitors. The great thing about the internet is everything's open. You can subscribe to their lists. You can read, the companies that are successful in your vertical, and it's okay to subscribe to their list and read. There's probably a reason they're successful. They're probably doing a lot of things right. And that doesn't mean knock off or rip off what they're doing, but you can get inspired and get ideas from their email autoresponder, take that and reconstruct that with a different flair, a different tone. And that's a model that is, those are the pros and cons of the internet. When you're on top, your competitors can do the same thing for you, but when you're below them, you can still take it. You can still get some great ideas from the most successful companies out there. And we've done that in the past, and I'm sure there's lots of people that do that from our autoresponders as well.
Yeah, it's a great thing to do. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. I mean, the internet just allows you to go and research everything. I mean, you can see so much. So instead of reinventing the wheel, you can go out there and not steal ideas, but you can model them. You can see what they're selling. If you see an ad like running over and over, all like I do this all the time. I
It's
see the
probably
same
a
ads.
positive ROI ad. Yeah.
Yeah, if you see ads running all the time, they're probably doing something right. So I subscribe to annoying ads all the time just to see what they're selling. So doing that modeling, doing that research to see what the competitors are out there, that'll give you a really good perspective of what kind of holes you're missing in your business. Let's see what else we got here. Mark, there's a question a little bit farther up about I'm not sure if I exactly understood the context, but the question is, I think that they're concerned that if they put out a promo and they already have clients on subscription, and they see the clients that are on subscription, if they see a discount,
Yep.
is that something that you want to avoid, or is that going to be okay, or what do you do with that?
Well, it's definitely something to consider. The bigger your customer base, the more exposure you have to that. And you have to be ready to address with full transparency the people who are already on your list or your subscription. Can you afford to bonus them in, make them, and it's tough because you don't want to lose the goodwill of your customers. It's kind of like the cable companies, when you're on your cable subscription and they get these great offers for new customers, but they're like, oh, you're my loyal customer and you can't get this offer, only new customers. And it's annoying and it pisses you off and it doesn't. That's why people hate the cable companies, right? So you got to be careful with that. I don't know that I have the solution, but I'm glad that you're thinking along those lines. You're thinking, I want to run this promo, but I don't want to, I can't afford to give it to everybody that's on my list. So you got to think about that and you got to be prepared, how you're going to deal with that so that you keep your loyal customers from hating you and you still can pick up new customers. And I don't know that it's an easy answer, but you definitely want to address it and you want to have solutions prior to launching it. And you certainly don't want to alienate your existing loyal customers, but it is something that you gotta consider. And we have those all the time where we run promotions and it's for new sales. And how do you deal with your loyal existing customers? Because you want to take care of them. Those are the guys that pay the bills. But you also want to onboard new customers and you want to be able to offer those bonuses. So I didn't give you an answer to that because I don't know your business, but you got to have to think long and hard and figure it out. Maybe it's a different bonus for them. Maybe it's only on a case by case basis for the people that reach out. And you can afford to do that and you don't just grandfather everybody in. But if they really reach out and they go through a couple, maybe they have to do something to get the offer and it takes they have to fill out a form or something. And if they do that, that means they really want this offer. And if you don't give it to them, they're going to be pissed and they're probably going to cancel. So build that into your model that you're going to probably have some of your customers. You could even, when you do the promotion, you could scrub out your existing subscribers from the list. I mean, there's certain things you can do, but be prepared that there are going to be some of your customers that are going to want to take you up on that bonus. And you're going to create some ill will if you don't have a plan for it.
Yeah, I would say in our case, in the experience of the Hoth is like we run a lot of promotions, and I would say that the benefits of running a promotion vastly outweigh the amount of people that are going to get upset about it. Like we'll sell way more.
And it was only a small number of people, and we just gave it to them, and it didn't. The fear. You can't let the fear of the what if. It's kind of like the freeze mentality Clayton mentioned in his email. You get so frozen and you get so scared to do anything and you do nothing. And I can guarantee what your results will be if you do nothing. There'll be nothing. So don't let fear, be smart and be proactive about what you're going to do when it comes up, but don't let fear be your sabotage for success. I talk to people all the time and they're like, well, you can't do this and I can't do this for this reason. They've got so many hurdles they've built up of why they can't do things. And I'm like, dude, you are your worst. You're creating walls that you don't even know. Your opinion is that is what's going to happen. But I've got case studies that can prove all of those fears wrong. And I can tell right away when people are unwilling to do things that are going to help their business because they're fearful of what might happen. Okay, so do nothing and see what's going to happen. Just be smart about it, but don't let fears be the reason you don't try things.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And like the one thing that I've learned a lot of things, but one very important thing that I've learned in the last few years is that I don't know anything. It's like so many things that I was very confident. Yeah, so many things I was very confident about were going to be like so awesome. Were way harder than I expected, and things that I thought were not going to be very awesome blew up super quick. So the best way to get over those hurdles is go try it, because nothing that I say or Mark says is going to be the reality. The market is going to tell you whether your idea works or not. The market will tell you real quick. So the best way to get that data is to get it out there and try it.
Yeah. I've got a great philosophy, and I call the market meaning your customers, the people that buy. People vote with their wallets, and that's the market. If you're struggling in your business and the market's not adapting to what you're doing, either you're not doing it correctly or the market doesn't want what you're offering. And I meet so many stubborn entrepreneurs that are like, oh, my idea is great. They just don't understand my pitch, or it doesn't matter. The market is the market, and don't try to swim upstream. You'll drown. Don't be so bullheaded that you're smarter than the market. The market just doesn't understand your product or doesn't understand your service. Don't swim upstream. If you feel that you're swimming upstream and you're not getting the success you want, change what you're doing. I always say, go with the river, jump in an inner tube and shoot down the river. It's a lot more fun. And you might have to lose your ego and lose this idea that the market just doesn't understand you. Go with the market, even if it's against your philosophy or you think that you're smarter, or go with the flow. Go with the market. Don't try to swim upstream, because you'll drown. And if you go with the market, the market is what it is. You're not going to dictate or change the market. So find the things that have high growth rates, high adoption. A lot of people come to me, they got some product they want me to help them with. Nobody's ever heard of it. It solves a problem that nobody's heard of and nobody understands. Those are hard businesses to get off the ground. Nobody's Googling for what you're selling because nobody's ever heard of it. That means you have to go out and create a market. That's called, you might be the 1 in a million that does it, but 99.9% of them fail. Go with what people want. Don't try to create something that nobody's ever heard of. There's no search inventory. It's just difficult. Go, and it's easy to see and smell the trends. They're everywhere. Just go with them. And you can be a Me Too company and still do very well and focus on a segment where the big guy just doesn't have the ability to create that little custom extra that you can. If there's a big market for something, figure out how you can participate in it. Now the market's already there. You just have to go with the flow. But everybody wants to be a genius and create some new idea that nobody's ever heard of. It's so complex, and it takes if it takes more than, a minute to explain, it's a bad business model. You know what I mean? So pick a good business model, make it easy on yourself, and stay in your wheelhouse. Everybody always thinks the grass is greener on the other side. I fell into this when I started my electronic cigarette company. I'd always sold digital products, and I wanted something physical I could touch, because I'm like, if I can get my product into Walmart, I'll make a ton of money. And all it did was make me realize the digital business that I have is a great business. No inventory. I don't have to go to China. I had to go to China to deal with the factories, had to pay for the product, had to inventory it, I had to ship it, had to wait to get paid later. It was a terrible business model. And ultimately, I will never get involved in a product that's a physical product, just because me personally, the digital world has so many advantages. You can do business with people in, the Hoth is in 90 countries. These are countries I've never been to, and trying to get a physical product into 90 countries would be a logistical nightmare. But if I can send you an email or a download, we can service you. So pick a good business model, guys. And sometimes people don't want to tell you your business model stinks. I met a guy who's an amazing artist, and he says, Mark, how can you fix my business? I said, dude, you're in a bad business model. You're an amazing artist, and you love what you do, and that's okay. But you're probably not going to be a millionaire selling your art. If you're happy what you're doing, that's great. But don't get frustrated because your business isn't succeeding. You're an amazing artist. It's just a bad business for making money. But that's okay. Not everybody wants to make money. Some people just want to do what they love, and that's success in itself. But don't get frustrated because you can't take a bad business model and not make money at it. Sometimes there's just not a way to turn a bad business model and make money out of it. And your friends won't tell you that. your people that care about you won't tell you that. They won't tell you, hey, your business model sucks. But sometimes it takes somebody just to tell you that, to be brutally honest, where you're like, wow, thank you. It's not what I want to hear, but it's the truth. So pick a good business model.
Cool. We got one from Adam. He's talking about, it's interesting about PPC. I've done PPC for, hang on, just lost it. It just left for me. I've done PPC on many businesses before and done really well, but for some reason it didn't work at all for a meal prep business. SEO, Yelp, and such other sites are the only thing that seem to work. I know I'm doing something probably wrong. Need to figure out what to do with the landing pages, ads, etc. We cover a lot of this in the Growth Blueprint. I'll just go through the Growth Blueprint and check it out, because there's a lot of elements to this equation, and there's a lot of things you can do to fix it. I'll just say that, I guess. You can make it work. And I think the Growth Blueprint will help you do that. It'll help, just to give you kind of some context, it'll help you get lower CPCs on your ads. It'll help you have higher converting landing pages. It'll help you build out a funnel where you get more conversions. It'll help you build out a product ladder where you can get more value out of the customers and continue to sell to them more and more things, so that if you, I don't know what timeline you were looking at or what metrics you say didn't work. Like, you didn't get your money back the first day, or you didn't get your money back in 30 days, or you didn't get your money back at all. No, you got 0 conversions. All these things are covered in the Growth Blueprint. So let's see. All right. I started a paver company a year ago. My website gets no visitors at all. Right now, my leads come from Yelp. I only have $2,000 a month to spend in marketing. Which venues should I concentrate? What do you think, Mark?
Well, the question is, for a paver company, can we convince somebody, that doesn't need a new, I would assume with paver, we're talking about redoing your back deck, paver driveway. It's a very popular way to enhance your home or your outdoor living space. So my guess would be, definitely invest in our local SEO product, because when somebody searches for a local company, right now your Yelp listing is coming up, but our goal would be to get your business to come up in the maps, and I'm pretty confident we can do that. You may want to invest in Facebook advertising. I would select, the zip codes in your area that have the higher income. Pavers is a luxury thing. If you're going to spend money on pavers, you have this discretionary income, so you can target the higher end zip codes. You can target the higher end income. So get your paver ads laser targeted. Have the ads have that dream, your best project that you've done. Have that be a picture of the ad, and maybe have a picture of an old crappy wooden deck versus a paver deck, or a concrete driveway versus a paver driveway, and try to get people into the funnel. Maybe your lead magnet is 10 mistakes, 10 tips if you're considering redoing your outdoor living space, and you give them 10 tips of how to, don't sell your product. And you're only going to download that PDF if you're interested in maybe getting pavers. Now, once you've educated me with the top 10 tips, I'm interested in you giving me a quote. Plus, I've given you my email for that PDF. So now you can drip out content. You can show me your referrals, your reviews. So build that trust and make your lead magnet something that solves the problem. The fear of hiring the wrong paver company, have a lead magnet that solves those problems, and you'll get a really targeted lead list, and you'll manicure those into appointments, which hopefully turn into leads. So target high income people in the zip codes that you would service from Facebook, and test it.
Yeah, I would agree with all that. One thing about with this is I imagine that people are this is a service that people are going for and looking for. Like, they have a problem and they're going to type it into Google. In terms of like Facebook, people are not necessarily looking for anything particular. You can go and target markets or people that like certain things, but they're not on Facebook looking for an answer to anything. They're just looking to see their friends or whatever. As opposed to SEO or AdWords, where people are like, I have a problem, I need something paved, and they're going and typing that in. So investing in SEO is really great. You said that like all of your leads are coming from Yelp. That's because Yelp is ranking for the keywords that you want to rank for. So investing in SEO is really good. Investing in AdWords or PPC would be good. And then also doing what Mark said is definitely very valuable because in terms of Facebook traffic, because you can target your local area. You could run specials. There may be people that they wanted to redo their driveway for a long time and they're waiting for that special to come. So
or they may have fear why they're not doing it, and your PDF or your lead magnet could overcome that fear. So now they download, don't try to sell them a paver right off the bat. Try to give them something. Hey, thinking of redoing your driveway, would you like your driveway to look like $1 million? Of course, everybody wants to be improved. Here's 10 tips on how to go from this to this, or how to hire the right company, or how to solve a problem. And everybody wants their outdoor space to look better. So maybe you're getting people who are on the fence that maybe then come into your funnel, and because you run some special one month, they pull the trigger, or that, getting them out there, meeting with them, giving them that estimate, get them into your funnel. So those are all good ideas to try to implement to generate leads.
Yeah. And in terms of which ones should you concentrate on? I think you should concentrate on anything that actually produces ROI. You can test different ones and you'll see how good of ROI, as long as you put enough test budget into it, and see which ones convert the best, see which ones are driving the most quality traffic leads, and then double up and then triple up and quadruple up on that as much as you can. I don't like to be a one-track marketer. We're pretty clear in our marketing that we love SEO. We do SEO all day, but by no means should you be a one channel marketer. SEO will be your only channel. So yeah, I would just test it out and see which ones convert the highest.
Jamie has the issue of PDF. Can you just walk through quickly how we give out the PDF after we collect the email? It's pretty simple if you use a product. I think we use ClickFunnels to deliver our PDFs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, basically what we do is it goes from ad to a landing page. We use ClickFunnels, and it's very easy to set up just like a landing page that collects an email address. And then on the thank you page, there's a link to download the PDF. And then we also send it via email. ClickFunnels connects to whatever email system that you use, MailChimp, Aweber, Drip, whatever you use. And we send it out twice via that. Hope that answers your question. Let's see what else we got. Where's the $7 citation audit? It's $49, and yeah, it's a Tripwire offer that we have. So you have to see that ad on Facebook to get that deal, man. All right, let's see what else we got.
How many of you guys have business partners? How many people are solo operators, and how many have a business partner? Put a 1 if you're solo, 2 if you have a business partner.
1, 2, 1.
I get asked this question a lot. I'm thinking of bringing on a business partner. Would you do it, Mark? Would you not do it? And certainly there's pros and cons to both. It's like asking somebody, should you get married? It's the right person, absolutely. The wrong person, hell no. So it's this, I say it's a lot like a marriage. It can be the best thing in the world, or it can be living hell and set you back to zero. Similar to a marriage. You get divorced, you're gonna start over financially real quick, and if you get a bad business partner, you're probably going to start over financially really quick. So I use this as the test, as one test for trust. If you would not be willing to give that person access to your entire bank account that you have right now, meaning whatever you have in the bank, give them the bank numbers, the username and password. You have to have full trust. If you don't have full trust, that's your answer right there. Even though you may think, oh, this guy can help me or not, if you don't trust that person with everything you own, it's probably not that right. It's probably, I would say, try a joint venture, try something that is not a true business partnership, because there's a good chance that it's going to end. And when it ends, it's not going to be pretty. And I can tell you that from being in a great business partnership right now, and in the past being in a not so great business partnership. It's just my personal opinion. And if you've got a great partner that's different than you, meaning you don't want to find a clone of you, because you can do the same things your business partner can. Well, that doesn't diversify your skill set. My business partner are very, very different. So what he does well, I'm not very good at. And what I do very well, he's not as good at. So we complement each other. So we can tackle issues with our skill sets. And the trust factor is there. I would give more than my bank account to my partner and have 100% trust that he's got my back, and I would sleep well at night. So those are the answers to kind of litmus test of if it's the right. And there's always different scenarios, but those are just a couple things to think about. If you wouldn't be willing to give that person your bank account, you probably need a little more time to either develop the relationship and the trust, or it's just not the right fit. Move on and develop a non-business partnership, a vendor relationship, so that you can easily sever that relationship and not be financially in a bad situation.
Cool. All right, let's see if there's any more in here. We got one question here. I think we probably need a follow-up. I noticed the Hoth doesn't sell any online courses for recurring / super scalable revenue. Based on what I'm hearing from you, Mark, you guys would be all about that.
Hoth University, we've talked about it a lot. The problem is we have a saying at the Hoth: you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So if you could go to our whiteboard sessions, you'd see Hoth EDU, Hoth University. It's been listed many, many times over the last couple of years, and it's a product that I'd love to have out and offer. It's just we have to pick and choose our battles. We're a small team. We're limited in dev. We're limited in Clayton. We have to let him sleep every once in a while, so he can't do everything. And it would be a product that I would love to offer, and I think you'll see it come out soon. It's probably something that we would partner with somebody, or it's just going to take time. But I would love to have an EDU product, an educational course, because I think we have some great talent that we could share. That could allow people to learn from our mistakes and our strategies. So it is hard. If you do everything, you're not good at it, your products are going to be average. You're not going to succeed. But if you can focus on a couple things and be best in class and compete and know that you're delivering a great product, and you just can't do everything. So it is something we want to offer. It's something that we've discussed. It's just, and I think that's good for all businesses out there. Really, you got to focus on a couple things. PPC, there's lots of things we want to offer, and we could, but it would dilute the value of if we can't do it best in class, we feel like we're going to hurt our brand, and we owe it to our customers only to deliver products that we would use ourselves and that we really believe. Because there's easy way. There's lots of ways to go out and make a quick buck, and what you figure out real quickly is that you want to sleep at night. You want the long. I always say it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. There's a lot of easy ways to make a quick buck, but all that stuff catches up to you. And with the internet and with transparency, if you're out there hustling people just to make money, you'll kill your reputation. You'll alienate your loyal customers. Your employees, your staff morale will go down because they know if you're delivering great products or if you're delivering shit. So now you've got your it's a snowball effect, and it kills company culture, it kills morale, it kills your reputation. So unless you can really deliver a great product, it's probably better to put it on the shelf and focus at what you're really good at.
Yeah, I think we've concentrated a lot more on just providing free information and then concentrating on improving our products versus trying to sell information as a product. If you do have specific things that you would like to see, because it's kind of a broad question in terms of like creating training, I'm curious what actual training that you would like to see. So if you have more specifics on that, that'd be cool. David says, would love to see a Hoth local drip product. If you could explain what you mean by that, we could address it, because we do have a local service where we drip it out and do it month by month. It's called Monthly Mojo. Also, some guidance as what products I should use. I think you're in HothX, so we'll totally guide you on what to use. I have been with you for about a year and done always what I know I should be doing. I'm already ranking #1. Hell yeah. What should I do next? All right. Well, I think you're in a good place because you're on HothX #1. So you'll have a campaign manager with you the whole time, but you also have an account manager that can help you with strategy as well. So if you have like multiple sites or whatever, we can figure out what the best products for you are. And we also come out with new stuff all the time. Like we have like there's stuff that we don't announce. And so we always have new opportunities based on your specific situation. So hit us up and we'll figure out what you need specifically. Randy says, do you think offering small business owners a Google My Business Guide or how to use Yelp would be a good lead magnet? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That could be a great lead magnet.
Both of those. And I'm in the business. So I'm sure small business are, always want to figure out how they could. So I think those would be awesome lead magnets. So you're giving out this advice, you're showing them how they could do it on their own. And like I said, most people are lazy. They'd rather, once you tell them how to do it, they're more happy to pay you to do it than to do it because their time is valuable and they're business owners and they figure you're an expert. And now there's a sense of loyalty. You've given them something without asking for a dollar. So you're already ahead of the trade game. You've given them something. So now when you ask for something, it's a reciprocation. So I think it'd be a great lead magnet. And I'd be happy to take a peek at it. If you put a PDF or something together and give you some insight, Clayton could take a peek at it and we could, just check it over and maybe give you some tips.
Cool. Charles says, I'm at a point where I'm just starting to scale, going from solo and working with VAs and services like the Hoth to having first employee. Any tips on first hires?
Well, we've hired a lot of people and we've been very good. We're very picky. So, maybe you could chime in on our hiring process, Clayton. I know you've taken the lead on some of, we made a hire about a year and a half. That's about a year and almost 2 years ago. And we hired the guy to replace a support person that just wasn't getting the job done. And we really didn't want to let this guy go. He had a couple kids. His wife was actually pregnant. He just wasn't getting it done. It was a really tough decision. And I know I'm a people person. He was part of the staff. And finally we made the decision to let him go. And before we did that, we started the interview process. And we hired a guy to replace this person as a support role. Well, the person we found was way overqualified for the support role, was way more than we were paying the support person. And then we had a backup candidate that was just average. We really toyed with the decision. Do we want to pay this money for this person that's overqualified for the support role? And we all looked at each other and said, hire A players, you'll get A results. Hire B, C, D players, you get B, C, D results. This person now runs the entire company, and it didn't take him very long. And had we made the decision to hire that B or C person to save $20,000 a year or whatever the number was, the Hoth wouldn't be where it is today. So hire A players. That's my advice is don't just look at what you can afford. Hire somebody that you feel is going to make a big impact for your company. And hire somebody potentially even smarter than you. That's what we did with George. George, we were afraid he might not take the job. We said, what if he doesn't take the job? Because he was asking us our 5-year business plan, and we were looking at each other going, wait a minute, we're supposed to ask the questions here. And he challenged us in the interview, and we said, man, this guy, either he's the best interviewer, he's just taken the interview course and he's the best interviewer, or this guy's the real deal. And that hire was a big part of a big change of the Hoth's direction and where we are today. So, your next hire could be, even if it's your first hire, it could be the difference of staying average and taking, maybe this hire pushes you, maybe find somebody that you don't always want as the business owner. If you always got to be the one pushing everybody, it gets tiring. It's exhausting. It's really nice when you have employees that are pushing you, pushing the envelope, pushing for new goals, striving for excellence. That's when you got a great company. So, challenge yourself to hire somebody that is, and it may take you a little while, may not find that person right off the bat, but if you're going to hire somebody, make sure you owe it to yourself to find an all-star. So, that's our story from hiring George. And we now have a culture that is lucky because we were one of the best jobs in St. Pete. So we get the cream of the crop. And a lot of that started with the hire of George, of hiring A players if you want to be a great company.
Yeah, this is a pretty open-ended question. I agree with everything that you said, Mark. But hiring someone, I think, is definitely it's definitely very important to find the best person that you can. But also, one of the biggest things I think maybe missed is creating that culture where that person can thrive and survive. So you and your development and your systems and protocols that you're going to put this person into is going to be very important for the success of that person. There's a book called The E-Myth that I recommend to everybody that's just like really getting started on your business. And it talks about this kind of owner operator dilemma about, working in your business and the common problems that really are going to kill small businesses. When you're hiring your first employee, now you're going to have a responsibility. So having systems in your business that make sense that person can come in and operate is going to be very important. So I would check out The E-Myth. And there's a couple other books that are very similar to that, like Built to Sell is another one. But it's about implementing systems in your business. And when you bring on that first person, giving them the opportunity to succeed, I think that's just as important as hiring somebody great. Not being too quick to hire. So it's a pretty open-ended question, but that's probably the most important thing that I can think of. One important question: people talk about Yelp SEO. What do you think about that? I don't know. Probably means SEOing your Yelp pages, probably a good idea. Yelp pages rank for tons of local stuff, so if you can get your name in Yelp SEO, that's a very good idea. The optimal thing is that for your keyword, all 10 slots are filled by you. It's not just your website at the top. It's that you're number 1 on your website. Yelp is number 2. Your ZocDoc is number 3. Your Tumblr is number 4. Your Facebook's number 5. That would be the optimal one.
I'll give a little bit of advice that nobody has heard this yet, and there's a few people on this, but we just signed a partnership with Yext last week, and if you guys are familiar with Yext, they have a great product. Their product is very expensive if you go directly to them. What we were able to do is work out a volume agreement where we get their product at a fraction of the price of what they charge retail, and we're going to be able to pass those discounts along to our customers. So look for that to come out really quick. What Yext will allow you guys to do, which will allow us to do for you, and you'll be able to do for your customers, is they've got a direct relationship with 70 of the top local directories. And most of it's within hours, but within 48 hours, you have the ability to push out all your NAP details. So it's the equivalent of a citation cleanup, but those 70 are guaranteed because of the APIs, relationships they have to fix them all. And then what we'll do is we'll use our team that we have right now to do the monthly mojos, to go out there outside of those 70 directories and do the updating or creation of those listings outside of the 70. So it's going to be real exciting. We're going to implement that. We'll do an overhaul of our local packages here in the next month or so, maybe even in the next few weeks. So look for that to come out. And one of the cool things that we also have is the audit tool that we talked about, which is a $7 Tripwire product, which was a $49 product, now will be a free tool. It basically would check these 70 listings and give you a real-time audit that shows you why you need to buy this product. And then also for our resellers, we can give this audit tool to you on a white label version, no mention of the Hoth, no mention of Yext. You'll be able to give out free citation audits and then collect the leads. So this becomes a lead magnet for you. You say, hey, free audit. Like right now we're charging $7, and that's a great value. Retail we charge $49, but this will be free. You'll be able to run unlimited audits as a lead generation tool. You'll get the information of the business, and you'll be able to try to sell those services, whatever your services are to those businesses.
Cool. Let's see. Maybe you want to take like one or two more, and then.
Sure.
Okay. So Adam, let's see. Adam's saying that I'm seeing a bunch of no-brainer opportunities by just looking at SEMrush and Ahrefs. Most people are probably not aware of what's going on with their opportunities. Also, this kind of person makes decisions on making me feel yield the greatest rewards. So maybe I spent $500. This is a pretty long question. I found keywords you want to write for page and build some content, build links. Thousands. Okay, so I think Adam, I think this you must be like following up to something that you previously were saying. But I think I saw your message earlier. Basically, he was just giving us feedback. I don't think it's necessarily a question. But Adam, I agree with you 100%, man. There's tons of opportunities out there, and I appreciate the feedback. Let's see if we got any other questions in here before we close up. Frank says, "Thanks, guys. It was an excellent webinar. Thanks for joining us, Frank. I appreciate you, man." Let's see what else we got. All right, I think that's it. Mark, you want to say anything else before we hop off of here?
Yeah, I'm going to go off topic. I've mentioned this in some of my speeches that I do at entrepreneur events, and it's off topic, but I'm okay willing to go here because I think it's that important. You guys are all in this because you're entrepreneurs. You want to get something. You want to learn from other people. And so I'm going to talk something that's not necessarily business, but it could be something that's holding you back, and it's about therapy. It's about I see a therapist regularly, and my mentors. Nobody ever told me that this was something you should do or consider. So I don't know any of you if you're in therapy right now or you have a therapist, but I highly recommend it. I had some stuff happen to me when I was a child that was really tough stuff to deal with. And think of it as like a backpack. If you've got extra weight that you're dealing with that you haven't really dealt with in life, address those issues. And it's okay to go see a therapist. And even if you don't have, maybe you didn't have trauma or major things that happen, you just need to think of it as an engine that needs a tune-up. If you have an engine and you don't go change the oil, and you don't put new spark plugs in it, well, that engine eventually wears out. Well, we all have stuff we deal with. We all have things that stress, that maybe it's baggage, maybe it's from a relationship, maybe it's from our parents, maybe it's from whatever. But going and talking to somebody and dealing with these issues so that you can free yourself from all that baggage so that you can work 100% in your business allows you a competitive advantage. If I didn't deal with some of my stuff until I was in my 30s and early 40s. And I think back, gosh, if somebody would have sat me down and said, Mark, it's okay, go see a therapist and deal with some of these things, maybe I could have been more successful. It's okay. And I encourage it. Even if you don't think you need to see a therapist, go try it out and you'll know if you're getting value out of it. If you're not, then that's okay. You don't need to. You don't need a tune-up. You've got it all figured out. But I'm a very successful person financially, business-wise, but we're all people, man. We all deal with things. We got relationships. We've got kids. We've got baggage. We've got skeletons in the closet. And if you can go deal with that stuff and put that in a separate compartment and feel okay with it, now you can focus on your business and you don't have all this cloudiness or distractions or weight or whatever you want to call it. And sometimes it just takes a mentor, somebody that you respect or look up to tell you, dude, go try it. You'll know. It's like anything else. If it feels good and it's working for you, you'll know it. And if it's not, you'll know it. But boy, the effort that it takes to go try versus the outcome of what you could get out of it is, I'm telling you, I'm living proof that it changed my life. So, feel free to it's okay to go get therapy and deal with things. And like I said, even if it's a small tune-up, hey, if you're running at 80%, why not run at 100%? Go deal with something, boom, a quick change. And maybe it's something you don't do all the time, but if you develop that relationship and you have access to it, my therapist told me different neighbors are meant for different things. Your spouse isn't meant to deal with some of your problems. That's your business partner isn't meant to deal with some of your problems. Your therapist is that person that is there to deal. They're trained to do it, and that's their job. Sometimes we use our friends or we use our parents or we use our kid, whatever, and we wonder why they don't understand. Well, that's not their job. So if one person gets some benefit out of this and uses it, then it was well worth bringing up as a unique topic in an entrepreneur webinar. So I'll leave it with that.
Okay, cool. Well, let's take this one last one from David. It says I did the citation cleanup, but not sure how long I should be doing citations monthly. Again, I'm a brick and mortar medical practice, so local is the only concern. I'm only pulling 5 to 10 miles. Man, I think probably the best answer is we have one of your account managers or Hothex manager take a look at your situation. There's no like cookie cutter answer for this, I don't think.
At some point, the citations run out. There's not an infinite amount of citations, but if you see the reports coming back and we're still adding valuable additions, then that's good. At some point, 2, 3, 4, 500 directories, we start running out of quality directories. So there is diminishing return at some point. I don't know how many months you've been on the Monthly Mojo, but if we can take a full list of everywhere you're listed and you're starting to get really crappy directories back, then that's probably the time to pull the plug. But if you're still getting quality listings, those citation listings are giving you a competitive advantage against your competitors. So it really depends on how many you're at and where you're at on the monthly cycle. And your account rep could do a good job of taking a peek at that and giving you some advice.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, after you get done with like the good directories, then your budget's probably best spent somewhere else, either in content or actual links or reviews, getting review management done, since review is so important in local. Okay, cool, guys. Well, I just want to say thanks so much for hanging out with us, dude. This is super fun. It's like one of the first times we did like a Q&A like this, and so I appreciate all you guys' time. We're gonna send out a recording of this. We're gonna upload it to the Growth Blueprint. If you guys have not gone through that, there's a ton of questions in here that I think were answered by the Growth Blueprint. So I'd encourage you guys to go through that. That really is the system that we use to scale to where we're at today, probably 10xing our revenue in the last 3 to 4 years. So yeah, there's some really powerful stuff in there. So I encourage you guys to go through that. With that said, Mark, got anything else before we hop off?
No, thanks for your time, guys. Thanks for your business, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Much love. See ya.
Peace.